No, first thing, I'm the only thing between you and lunch, which is quite a weird position to be. But on the good side, I brought two candies. So if you stay, you can actually win two of these books that teach people. It's from one of my favorite people, Liam Martin, and teaches people on how to manage remote teams properly. So if you're a manager, you may want to stay until the end, and hopefully you can win the book. It will be quite easy to win. This is me. I'm the CEO of NomadX. I'm also the president of the Digital Nomad Association in Portugal. I'm the co-founder of Remote Portugal, which is an association to promote remote work. And I'm the consultant of Madeira, Cabo Verde, and now Brazil for the digital nomads and how to create projects that attract but also engage digital nomads in the local community. If you want to win one of those two books, you only have to do one thing. You have to post on your Instagram one key learning on your stories, one key learning that you took from this presentation. If nothing, post there, but I'm not sure if we'll win a book. And this is the book from Liam Martin. Incredible book. He's the founder of Running Remotes and from Time Doctor to incredible conferences. And now we go because we don't have much time and there is incredible lunch after us. What is a digital nomad? There is a lot of confusion, especially in my country, which means I'm doing a very crappy job. A digital nomad is a remote worker who travels for a sustainable period of time. The travel part is very important, or else you are not a nomad, you are just an immigrant. And there is a big difference between nomads and immigrants, right? Nomads don't stay in one place, they are temporary people, they are here for 2, 3, 4 months. Immigrants stay here, they stay longer than 6 months. And our line, because we work with governments, it's on the 6 months. If you stay more than 6 months, first, you are liable to pay taxes locally. Second, well, you are not very nomadic, and that's okay. You can call yourself a nomad, you can call yourself a slow mad, that's a new thing, but legally, and just legally, you are an immigrant, you should be treated as so. So when you talk about growing house prices, etc., usually nothing to do with nomads. This is all going mainstream. I will not bother with you, but you see, remote work is mainstream today, and so more people can have this lifestyle, which is quite cool. And this is the bio of a digital nomad in Madeira. Digital, first, everything. We want to control the world in our cell phones. Average salary in Madeira, 4,000 euros per month. Spending around 1,800 there in Madeira. 6 nature connection, interested in sustainability, this is very important. 30% of nomads are vegetarians or vegans, which means when we prepare a destination, we have to take this into account. We want to give back to the community. Usually we don't know how. Also, this is quite key. And this is so mainstream that companies are paying their employees to become nomads, which sounds crazy, but Coverflex is a Portuguese company who paid Marta to go to Cabo Verde, to our community, for a whole month to try the digital nomad life. And now she's traveling around the world. The last time I heard from her, she was in the Philippines, still working remotely for Coverflex, but she was empowered and paid to take the first trip as a digital nomad because that's how they want to keep their best employees, which is quite a smart strategy. Safety Wing, who knows Safety Wing? Safety Wing is a company with more than 200 people, all digital nomads. 100%. They only hire digital nomads because, well, they are a company for digital nomads. And surprise, they are VC-backed. They are growing like crazy. They have more than 200 employees. It still works. So this is a thing. This is something that is growing a lot. It's not stopping. And definitely, it's more than just traveling. It's personal growth. Personal growth because once I started to be a digital nomad, the people I connected with were very different from the place where I used to live. The normal conversations about football and weather, they transformed into global taxation and how to grow a TikTok in 1 month to 1 million. They say it's possible. I don't believe them. Digital nomadism is also about community. We travel between communities. I'll repeat this ad eternum. Community is the most important thing. Try to travel alone for 1 year. You'll get bored. It's not that interesting. It's all about the people. People are the most important thing, even when you become a digital nomad. And this is the one phrase that for me is the most important of everything. We don't travel between places, we travel between communities, always. That's why Lagos works, that's why Lisbon works. It's not because they're incredible, it's because they have a community. And when you compare Lagos with Vila Moura, when you compare Lagos with Portimão, Lagos has a bigger community, so they are working on the community aspect. The same is true for Madeira and our project there. We have a global mindset, and we thrive. And this is very important. This is the one question I have every single day in Madeira. How can we give back to the community? Which looks crazy when you look from the outside, when you see the news. But this is the one question I have. Over and over again, I want to give back to Madeira. How? And when there is no project, when there is no management, it's very easy. You don't have no idea. You spend 2 months there, how do you find out how to give back? So when we built this project, and this is one of my favorite stories, 2 years ago on the Christmas Day in Cabo Verde, we were there and we were just chilling. We're 20-something nomads in Mindelo, and we had this opportunity to give back to a village, São Pedro, in the south of São Vicente. And this is a poor village, mostly fishermen, unemployed people, many kids, and usually they don't have gifts during Christmas. So we gather 50 euros each, super basic. I think Sonia was not there, but Sonia's around. And we went to this village, gave the gifts to the local association, and spent the whole day playing there with the kids. Every time the kid engaged in playing with us, we gave a gift to them. So there was dancing, there was painting, there was painting. And the cool thing is, even in this image you see here, the guys didn't speak Portuguese at all. The kids don't speak English. Cabo Verde is a Portuguese language country. They spoke the whole morning together. I cannot explain you, it worked. And this is the beauty of it. When we want to give back, when we want to give something, people understand each other. They don't need to understand English, we don't need to understand Portuguese, it just works. So the key here is that we have all these global mindset, we have all this talk about digital nomads, but what we really seek, but we need to have proper projects for this, is to have a positive local impact. And this is the reason why we have 60 countries fighting to have digital nomads, including Estonia, Malta, Dominica, Portugal, Spain, Greece, etc. Economic impact is huge. The social impact, if well managed, can be huge as well. But the most important is, from digital nomads, you can create a whole impact ecosystem. You can change a whole economy of an island like Madeira, like we did. And this is why. This funnel is the reason why this works. Digital nomads are in the top of the funnel. We visit, we stay 1 or 2 months, we enjoy the place. If we really enjoy, we stay longer. If we really enjoy, we become immigrants, expats. Because, well, I love Madeira, why not move here? When we become immigrants, we pay taxes, which is really cool. And here we also start to think about the destination in different lenses, on how to give back long term, which is much more interesting. But it also happens that 20% of digital nomads are entrepreneurs. So what happened in Madeira is we brought our startups with us. We open our companies in Madeira, we have tax benefits, but we also have an ecosystem supporting these people. This ecosystem is key. People need to feel supported in such a sensible thing like starting a company. And then if we bring the nomads, if we bring the expats, if we engage the locals, if we create all this together, then we create an innovation ecosystem. And this is the talk, the theme of my talk, how to create these innovation ecosystems. This is exactly what's happening in Madeira. We started with the digital nomads, we had more than 20,000 now. We had many expats, people actually fell in love with Madeira, stay there, and now they have Madeira as a base, including myself. Some of them are already building their businesses there, and now we see an ecosystem where locals, expats, and immigrants can actually connect and learn from each other. And this is my first project. It's still very touchy, I love this place. This is where I live right now. And there is an incredible video here that I don't think we can see. I was praying that it worked. Sorry guys, I changed this to this PPT. And this was the first nomad village in the world. My idea is, if we can have a community, where should we build these communities? My vision, villages are the best places in the world to live, because they were built around community. Everything in the village is about community. So our idea was, how can we get a village that nobody knows about, Ponta do Sol, and put it in the center of what is the nomad world? And the whole idea was, okay, we create a community. So the government of Madeira approved my project, and we worked together to create the perfect conditions to welcome nomads. We have free co-working space, etc. But above all, we have a full-time community manager, 365 days per year, making sure that you connect with people, that you have a positive impact, that your questions are answered. So it's not about the co-working space, it's about the community, it's about the ecosystem, and this is what we work every single day. Our end goal is to repopulate the villages. People run away from villages to work in cities. It's time to go back. And the village is just built around everything I believed in. It's a proof of concept that communities work. Communities were built in villages before. Then we moved to cities because we had access to jobs in cities. This is not true anymore. Our job is in our computer. So, well, why not live in connection with the nature? Why not live 5 minutes from the beach? And what do we offer? We have a free co-working space, 6 to 10 events per day, which looks insane. We have always a full-time community manager. We have online community on Slack with 6,000 people. We have, above all, this feeling of belonging. From the first day you arrive, you will go to any event we have. You will meet 20 people. By the end of the week, you'll meet 500. From this 500, you'll meet your new 15 best friends. You create a WhatsApp group and you'll go in adventures with them. This is the goal. This works every single week. Also, because it's different, because we have a strong why. It's not just one more nomad community. There's a strong why behind it. We were in the news all over the world. JQ, CNN, Lonely Planet, Washington Post, etc. And this is the numbers of our operation. 2 months, the total investment was 35K per year. 35K, it's nothing. It's 2 meters of road, if we go that way. So we have 18,000 registrations, 2,000 average digital nomads in Madeira per month, 200 in just Ponta do Sol. Now we have 5 communities, 6. More than 200 media articles, no more seasonality. Like Algarve, we have a high seasonality. This is not true anymore for Madeira. Our houses, our restaurants are always full right now. We are second on Nomad list, which is the biggest ranking we were second on Nomad list, we are not anymore, which was the biggest ranking of destinations in the world. More than 250 companies created by digital nomads alone, which is really cool. More than 200 houses sold and 60 million euros of direct impact in the last 2 years for 35K a year. Not because we invested in ads, because we created a community. This is just for my ego, it works really well. But this was last year. This year is much different. No, it's more or less okay. So we are usually now top 10. Madeira was outside the top 100. I was a nomad myself. I'm a nomad for 5 years. I never thought, in my own country, I have Madeira. Never crossed, straight to Bali. And then I came back, invited by the government to go to Madeira to organize a conference. And I figured out, wow, this is paradise. And it's my country. I never loved my country. And now I have actually seen with the eyes of a nomad. I understand why lots of you guys are here. This is quite a cool country. And this is the ranking of arrivals. It's clear to see that Madeira was nowhere close to be a destination, and now it is, which is really cool. And again, if we do this, if we bring a lot of people, tourists, wherever, we need to have and take care of the local impact we have, positive and negative. So we are teaching code in schools. We took nomads that know how to code, we took them to local public schools, and we are teaching code to kids. So they can understand that they also can work from Madeira to the world. Because the typical thing in Madeira is, you go to Madeira until the 12th grade, you move to Lisbon, you study in Lisbon, you stay in Lisbon. Or you go outside. You never go back to Madeira. Why? There is nothing happening there. Now there is. Now we can teach you code. Now you can stay at home. Now you can actually engage with your friends for the future. And we also talk about remote work in schools. We go to schools all around Madeira and speak about the impact that remote work can have in their lives, that now they can work remotely. It looks obvious to us. Trust me, it's not obvious to them at all. They are still shocked that they can work remotely from Madeira to Google if they want. It's insane. We also volunteer with local NGOs, especially the dog shelter is a big success there. And together, we are actually working to improve Madeira. This was our last hackathon, where we gathered 25 people, I believe, just to find problems in Madeira, solve problems. For example, our transportation, public transportation is very bad. The government is not here. Whew. And it's bad, it's poor. We have 3 companies, they don't work together, it's very complicated. So, these guys actually are working to creating an app to at least we have information about which transportation we have around, because that's not true right now. And this is just a hackathon where we put together in the weekend 20-something people, locals, expats, and nomads, and work together to fix problems that they found in Madeira. And this is how we can have a positive impact. Integration is the key. We can have 1,000 nomads, we can have 1,000 expats, we can have 1,000 locals. If there is no integration, they will all stay in their bubbles. I see that in Madeira, expats stay in their bubbles. I see also the same here. Many expats stay in their bubbles. We have incredible people here in Algarve that are still hidden in their own bubbles, locals, expats, and nomads, because most of the places don't have a proper integration. So, Algarve. And I could stop my presentation here, but Miguel asked me to present an idea to Algarve. And I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting. No filters here. I'll tell you my honest opinions about what should be done to Algarve, my strategy to Algarve, This was not passed by anyone. Nobody saw this any time before. Miguel is very nervous right now. So this is the honest opinion about what should be done in Algarve. I thought a lot about it and speak with a lot of people. I was with Verde municipality a couple of days ago. There's a lot of potential. You are all here. Recognize potential is massive. But we need to do more. And the same funnel we used for developing a nomad community in Ponta do Sol is exactly the same funnel we can use to develop a whole tech hub, to develop everything this conference is about, a lifestyle hub. It's the same funnel. Exactly the same, just different. We have to take people that stay here for 1 month, digital nomads, travelers, etc., turn them into expats, sell them the destination, make it easy to become an expat, bring their companies or invest in Portugal or start a company in Portugal, and then connect and integrate everyone. It's the same. There is no difference. The funnel works both ways, which is quite cool. And honestly, remote work is now the key to develop Algarve. Algarve was a destination that was active for 3 months. I used to live in Faro 15 years ago. I'm shameful. I studied here, actually. I studied in this university 15 years ago. And I remember there was nothing happening outside the high season, which was when everybody wanted to leave. Like, no local wants to stay here in the high season. It's crazy. And now we can change things. Now I have events in Lagos. Now I have this conference happening here. So with remote work, if we can work from anywhere, we can work from beautiful places like Algarve, which is cool. We can develop these places. So how can we change all this? Now things will get hairy. Welcome to the Algarve Business and Innovation Agency, just created right now on this stage. Hopefully things go well. And the key goals of the Algarve Business and Innovation Agency are business development and innovation. We need to bring innovation to Algarve. Yes, tourism is great. We need something else. Because when tourism goes down, we need the plan B, trust me. Attracting investment, not investment in tourism. Tourism is going very well. Investment in sea, investment in any other areas that we as a group at the Algarve Business and Innovation Agency will figure it out, we as a group. Human capital development, we need to educate locals, educate expats, integrate all these people, promote digital transformation. Come on, in Estonia I pay my taxes with my cell phone. It's crazy, 1 minute, here it's still a pain. Sustainable development, we need to build better partnerships and improve the business development. But how? Thank you so much. Now we go deeper, we go deeper. I'm speaking very fast, this is working. They told me I only have 25 to half an hour, but this is working real well. So why Algarve? Well, you guys are here, but strong tourism sector, probably one of the best in Portugal, incredible infrastructure, strategic location, cool, good airport connected with the whole Europe, very high quality of life. I'm staying in Vila Moura. The quality of life, the bikeways, everything is like spotless. It's incredible. We have agriculture and fisheries. Fish is very strong here, and I keep forgetting about this. But fish is actually not just a great industry, but as an experience, it's quite incredible. Real estate development, probably a little bit too much. That's another conversation. We have education, research. We have this incredible university where I also studied. We have this Portugal emerging tech scene that some people say it's a lot of good marketing. I kind of agree, but we have to do more. And we are part of European Union. So we can say this is quite a good place to be. So what projects are we working on? The first one is Digital Nomads Algarve. We need to bring Digital Nomads. There is already a great project in Lagos. There is something popping in Portimão. That's not enough. Like, Algarve is huge. We need a community in Rifana. We need a community on this side, Monte Gordo, Tavira, Faro, Albufeira, whatever. We need more communities. And this is only possible if we create and grow communities. It's about people, it's not about marketing. It's not about promoting Faro, it's about creating a community and integrating this community of Faro in the whole market. So we definitely need to create Digital Nomads Algarve, create and manage it with a great strategy behind these nomad communities, create local communities. I believe 5 to 7 communities should be perfect for Algarve. Interconnect these communities, create a big event every month where people gather from all Algarve into one of these destinations. Let's all go to Lagos, let's all go to Faro next month. And create the infrastructure, more co-working spaces. I was in Vila Moura, I am in Vila Moura. There is no co-working spaces. There is barely a cafe where I can work from. In 2023, how crazy is that? It's madness. So we need to create also the infrastructure, co-working, partnerships, information. The biggest travel groups, they don't come to Algarve. Remote Year, they don't come to Algarve. Wi-Fi Tribe, they don't come to Algarve. Why? They don't know about it. So we need to create also these partnerships to create and grow the nomad community in Algarve. So this is the first project. The second one is work in Algarve. Because some people, first we need more people to come and work for the local companies, both tech companies, but also all the other companies in here. But we need to facilitate the way they come and the way they integrate. And this is the goal of working in Algarve. It's to provide information about Algarve, what opportunities are available, where they can work, where they can live, what's the real estate market looks like right now, where they should buy a house, where they should rent, all this information that people who want to come and work for here, for companies here, they can have this information. Also, we can connect them with the companies that are growing, with the tech setup. And if they need more people to code, we can actually facilitate that. We can go look in the market, who wants to come to Portugal, and we have a job ready for you. With the proper integration, this can work really, really well. If we just leave it, what happens right now is we have this. We have a program to help people move to Portugal and work from here. The project stops at the government. There is no integration. Please come to Portugal. Sure, where? We'll see. And this is the problem with most of the government projects. They have a great idea, very bad implementation. We need to build the social infrastructure behind the projects of the government. So that's why work in Algarve is essential. We need more people to live in Algarve. There is a lot of empty space, not just in the 3 months of the summer, but during all the year, so that companies, businesses can stay open, so that there is more money flowing, so there is new ideas flowing, so we can start more companies and grow the whole ecosystem. Work in Algarve, it's our second project from our new company. Algarve Tech Hub, this one already exists, I heard. But this is key. We need a tech hub. We need to develop the tech sector. It's essential. We cannot live only on tourism. This is already happening, so I will not tell much about it. But we need to create and grow the whole tech ecosystem by integrating all these people into one ecosystem, into one community. We need to facilitate the funding, set up the whole process, and teach people how to set up a company. Portugal is not that easy. We need to be these managers of the whole hub and of the whole ecosystem. Only then we can integrate the digital nomads, the remote workers that come to Portugal and grow our tech innovation sector. So we can be incredible, honestly. Like we see Lisbon with great marketing, we can go after them. We can create a whole tech hub in the south. There is very little happening here still. And we see Braga. Braga is incredible tech hub. Incredible. We see Porto. We see Verde growing a lot. We need to develop this tech hub in Algarve. And then for this tech hub to develop, we need money. So welcome to Invest Algarve, which I heard there is something like this, but it's mostly all around tourism. I don't care. I didn't look before. So we need actually somebody who facilitates the investment in Algarve, who brings the money, who connects companies that need the money to companies that are offering that money. All the VCs, all these kind of different ecosystems. European Union gives a lot of money. We can get all that with Invest in Algarve. We have these incredible strengths that can really help us be big. We need to bring the right money. Again, we have incredible investments in tourism. We need the tech investments. We need the new companies. We need the ocean development investments. So we do very little with the ocean. And we have this incredible coastline here in the south. We are doing a lot of these things in Madeira. The ocean is a strategic key for Madeira, and we are investing a lot of tech startups in the ocean. But Algarve, not yet. We need to bring the money to develop not just the tech, but also all these companies that are connected with our main resources. And then we have, this is the last one, I think, Algarve International House. Because there are incredible programs that you see everywhere, but you don't know how to reach those programs. There is no face. There is this new program of the government I saw in the shady website. It must be cool. So Algarve International House is actually a centralized physical location that provides all these informations to all the people that are seeking this information. You can get really cool information, and this is the idea is taken from Estonia. You can integrate the newcomers, so people that are moving here, they don't know where to meet, they don't know where to go, you can integrate them. This is the physical hub with the people behind it to answer your questions, to make sure you are integrated in Algarve, and that we together can actually have a positive impact. We can attract a lot of people. Again, without integration, it's all pointless. It's just more numbers on the budgets. If we integrate the people, if we transform you into active actors, this is where Algarve can actually grow and become something special. Also, we lack data. We see attacks left and right to digital nomads, to immigrants. Most of them don't have data behind it because there is no data. So this international house should also be responsible to gather all the data from the different programs I told you about and gather and launch public reports every single year So we know when we are arguing about what's wrong, what's right, we need data behind it. This international house will gather it. They'll have the contacts of all the immigrants, they'll have the contacts of all the nomads, and we can actually create something special with that information. So this is our project, just created last night for this conference, and I think it could be really cool. And honestly, this is not special. This is the crazy thing. This is exactly the system that the country with most startups per capita developed 23 years ago. This is the exact system that the country with more unicorns per capita in the world developed to be where they are right now. This is the country where I actually have my company. It's not in Portugal. So the country is actually Estonia. Estonia that has a freedom for 25 years. We're able to create this, generate billions of euros in revenue, integrate people, bring people. I was there for 1 week. My mind was blown with the integration, with the openness of the people, with the easiness of doing business. So we have partially done some of the things in this diagram, but they are not integrated ones with the others. We have Invest Algarve. I doubt that it's integrated with Algarve Tech Hub. I doubt that it's integrated with work in Algarve because there is none. So once we create this whole ecosystem managed by one agency, all the things, all the promotion can be done with much more effectiveness. And this is where the magic happens, when you integrate all these systems, because they are all one. We cannot see Invest Algarve fighting with Digital Nomads Algarve. All needs to be integrated to have success. Only then we can actually speak about a good ecosystem in Algarve. Our mission is actually to use remote work as a tool to develop all this. We strongly believe that remote work is the key tool we were missing to develop places like Algarve, and we see it happening left and right. Our current projects are Madeira, my special place, this is my house, Cabo Verde, Caparica in Lisbon, Pipa, and thank you so much. Questions? I'm surprised, I did this in half an hour, but I'm sweating like crazy now. Oh, wow.
So my question is more in the sense of, you mentioned Gonçalo, there are already some groups doing very useful work in this sense. How do you plan on integrating what already exists with your new vision?
This is the key part, right? And it's integration. We have to integrate the co-livings, the communities that already exist into this vision. This is the key. This kind of project, let's call about Digital Nomads Algarve. The goal is to integrate what exists already. We have Digital Nomads Lagos, we have Digital Nomads Portimão, communities that are already growing. We don't have Digital Nomads Alfaro, we don't have Digital Nomads Faro, definitely not Tavira, and these are places where can be developed. So in my opinion, we should empower these people who are already working, at the same time as taking the teachments they have into this new community. So if we want to grow Digital Nomads Faro, we really need Joanna to come here and help the future community manager of Faro. We always work with community managers. So the key part is how are these community managers educated and integrated in this new ecosystem. And the key part is taking people with experience and bringing them here. What we do at NomadX with our communities is most community managers go first to Ponta do Sol. They do 2 months there, and then they go to Brazil. Then they go to Cabo Verde. But first they go home to learn, and then we distribute them around the world. Definitely education, internal education needs to be a big part of it. And we need to integrate everybody already working, like Algarve Tech Hub is doing incredible work. Woohoo, Tavira, let's go. So the goal is, all this is government projects. I'm not sure if there was this in the last slide. So in my opinion, like Estonia finances these projects with 81 million per year. We could do it for $500,000 per year. And so this is first to make the governments aware what can be done here. This doesn't mean that you cannot do anything. I just want to explain this part first, right? This is a government project that should be done by the government, invested by the government, to integrate all the key stakeholders in Algarve. But you can start a community today, honestly. I would speak with Joanne and see what she's doing, inspired by her. You can learn from us. There is countless articles on how we start the community. It all starts with one meetup a week, honestly. One meetup a week, bring something, have some co-livings around, check all the accommodation you have around, and start bringing people, invite people. For me, one meetup a week is the start of everything. It's how Lisbon started 7 years ago. One meetup a week with Digital Nomads Lisbon, and now it's this massive hub. It's all about people connecting with each other. Portimão also started like that, one meetup a week. So I'll start very simple. No need to invent anything new. Start one meetup, invite people.
Hi everyone, I'm Claire, the founder of Pomar Co-Living. Hi neighbor from Tavira. My co-living is in Kelch, so if you want to chat with me, I will be happy to connect with you. And I have a beautiful community, and I can say that in this part of the Algarve, it's super tough for me to find many events. You know, I always spend a lot of time to look at what's happening here, Tavira, Lyon, Faro, and it's exhausting because I don't have, I'm the founder and I do everything in my co-living. So if guys, I don't know, you want to help me with that, or do you want that we set up a channel in Facebook? I don't know to.
So everyone from Tavira, go to that site, speak with Claire.
I have a beautiful community already of digital nomads, so.
And honestly, this is how things start. Is people meeting from the same location, starting a meetup, getting together. Starts with 2 people, then you are 5. In 1 year, you are 200.
Yeah, but alone is always difficult. So yes, I'm happy to connect with.
Of course, yeah. Find people, find your people, connect, grow it. Thank you. I cannot see a thing. Ah, it's there. Oh, I know this.
Olá, Gonçalo.
I know this gentleman.
Gonçalo, thank you. You're a trooper. You've been doing a great service for Portugal. Everyone in Portugal should be appreciative of what you've done in the last years. And it's 2 questions. How do we get the municipalities? We don't have a strong regional government that can bind things. So how do we get the municipalities to collaborate with themselves so that we can fund these things? You know, we've been trying for 4 years to make this happen. So I know it's a hard question, and I know you started in Madeira, in a small city, and I think that was brilliant because you started there and it created an example. So what are the ideas to do that? And I'll also would like to say at the Algarve Tech Hub, we are a hub. So people that want to build these things, please connect because we need to build these communities. We started the meetup, the Grow Algarve meetup, because no one else started it. And we just need more people to do things. And there's people that want to transform the Algarve into a better place. That's why we created this brand. Of course, we needed all the other things, but we needed to start somewhere. Thank you, Gonçalo. You're a star.
Thank you so much. So municipalities, they are a big pain, of course. And sorry, no, but I love to work with municipalities, but it's very hard to enter, and it's quite surprisingly hard to make them move. The thing I see working a lot, now I have the Digital Nomad Association, so I'm working with Portugal, and we have like 25 municipalities in the pipeline to create something in Portugal, to replicate the project from Madeira to Portugal from an association. That's why I have the association. Is that there's a lot of FOMO, but there is also a lot of fear. So the first thing municipalities cannot do is failing. They cannot fail. They cannot afford to fail. The election cycle is very short. It's 4 years. So the first thing they want to do is mitigate failure. How can we deliver something to them that is good enough for them to show the people who vote, but without the fear of failing? And for us, we did this in Madeira. We know how to do this. We can replicate this in Portugal. Cool. From this, they are still fearful. Okay, can we start with a small project? Sure, we can start with 6 months. Let's do just 6 months. It's this price. Let's see what happens. With 6 months, it's already very low risk because they know there is a beginning, there is an end. They know if it goes wrong, it was a test. It was a pilot project. So the risk is taken out. If it fails, it fails. Okay, then the public opinion. What will people think if I do this? And this is the key. We need to put this in a good way. That's why giving back is also important. So when you present this to municipalities, and you mention that you are speaking in schools, when you mention you are speaking with local companies, when you mention you are teaching people who are unemployed about remote work, they are suddenly become 10 times more interested because they need this integration. They need to have this visibility of the projects. They are doing something good. This is not just another tourism project. This is only for the nomad part, of course. I think the key is actually to manage, is anyone here from municipalities? Good. Manage the egos. So how, in here I would say you have like 8 municipalities, I'm not sure. 16, easy. So with 16 municipalities, there's a lot of egos. There is bigger municipalities with a lot of money, there is smaller municipalities. How you balance the power between these municipalities so that the small municipality in the west side doesn't get resenting the big municipality from the west side or the east side, something like that. And this balance for me is the hard thing. How if I build 10 communities in Portugal, the big community of Peniche will not resent the small community of Manteigas in the mountains, right? Oh, but you are doing 20,000 events in Manteigas, you only 5 events here. Well, it's about balancing egos, but all this to say that it's very hard to get there, to get the right balance. But once you have something specific, small enough for them to risk on, and then show the results of that risk, like we are doing for the 4 days a week now. Okay, these are the results. Do you want to keep going? If the results are positive, it's an easy yes, because all the data shows that this is good, this is proven, now we can invest more money. Also, it's about trust. Like after 3 years in Madeira, it's much more easy for me to present this project to Madeira government and say, guys, we should do this tomorrow because this can change the whole ecosystem of Madeira. Because I built the trust first. Now it's easy for me to go there and say this, and they listen to me. But yeah, it's a lot of time also. And each place is a place. With 16 municipalities, it's difficult.
Gonçalo,
Yes.
hello. My name is Tiago. I am an angel investor based in Lisbon. I am also an e-citizen from Estonia, so we have this in common. Thank you very much for your work. I just have 2 quick questions. I would like to understand if you have a clear and simple definition of what a digital nomad is, and if there are any statistics or metrics regarding the size of the market and the current growth rate globally.
For me, the digital nomad is a remote worker who travels for a sustainable period of time. This is my definition. And once you stay more than 6 months, for me, you are not a nomad anymore. And that's okay. I just need this to get the statistics afterwards. Okay. Regarding statistics, in my opinion, all the statistics we have are invented. It's impossible, but because there is no clear definition of what is a digital nomad. Okay. Some people that are nomads don't say they are because they don't like the Instagrammer from Bali. Some people that are not nomads, they say they are because they travel every month to London because they have a client there, and they told me they are also digital nomads. Because there is no clear definition, there is no clear way to actually measure how many nomads there are. What we can measure is from the community side. So in Madeira, I can measure the impact because I control the ecosystem.
Starting from 0, okay.
So we started from 0 in Madeira. I know how many nomads we have, and more or less, because everybody registers for the Slack. I know how many people are on the events. I know what they do. When we do giving back events, I know how many people there were. With this data, that's the one I showed here, that we have data from. From the whole community is impossible.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
I think we need to close, or else they'll kick me out.
If you have more questions, you can do it outside. Thank you.
Thank you. And then I will announce who won the books. I will contact you directly on Instagram. Thank you.